All right, guys, welcome back into another NBA DFS video. Getting into, well, the New Year's slate. It's a little 3-game slate here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your New Year's Eve, and hopefully, if you're watching this video in the morning or in the afternoon, I guess, no judgments here. Hopefully you're not struggling too much there. All right. Last night was a very fun slate, though, just real quick. So much great plays. There was actually a lineup in which I didn't have Luka in there where it barely cashed, and it was all Flames. That is how crazy of a slate it was. Okay. Just a lot of crazy stuff there. I think looking at last night's, I think it's like 3 straight slates in which the cover boy has went for like on average 8x, with Mark Williams obviously 3 nights ago, Wagner 2 nights ago, and Julius Randle last night. So good stuff there. On a little bit of a roll here, so hopefully we can continue that in this video. If you guys enjoy the coverage, make sure to give a like and subscribe. All right, let's get into the guards. So this slate is going to be a fun slate in the sense that we have some slight injury news, but also it's going to be a straightforward slate, and sometimes that is just easy, especially on an NFL Sunday. But with that, the edge that might have been there on past Sundays on a bigger slate probably won't be there, because it's going to be more of a straightforward slate, it seems like. Okay, the injury news that we're looking at is Drew Holiday sitting for the Bucks, and with Drew Holiday sitting, we have seen Javon Carter and also George Hill is questionable, so this should help Javon Carter out as well. If George Hill sits out, that should just mean a few more minutes going his way. We saw him get 32 minutes in the last game. Didn't really shoot the ball all too much, but still, 50%, 6 shot attempts, was able to make some 3 balls. That was huge, but he was productive in the rebounding and assist game. Okay, so typically speaking, when Drew Holiday sits, Javon Carter basically does this. Okay, this is what he does. Now, the previous game against Chicago left me a little bit worried because his usage was extremely low. I think this is more of what we can expect from him. So given the nature of this 3-game slate, I probably will be playing him, just given the fact that the minutes are going to be there for him. It should be a good play. Do want to call out Grayson Allen as well. He's a decent play. I mean, just needs to get hot shooting the basketball. You look at what he did against Chicago, 14 3-ball attempts, didn't make that many. Kind of poor there. And then a poor night shooting the last night. Like, he is going to have a good night shooting sooner or later. The minutes are going to be there. We know that. So if he can just get hot shooting the basketball, would be a phenomenal play, really. So I'm fine chasing that in some GPPs. We can make that educated decision. Maybe we don't play Carter in a build and go with Allen in a build, hoping that Allen is the one that gets hot. And then for what it's worth, I know Joe Ingles is a forward play. That was kind of what we were going with him. Really, the previous 2 slates, I remember Pat Connaughton was pretty chalky against Chicago. I'm like, that doesn't really make sense in the sense that Grayson Allen and Joe Ingles are the exact same plays, where you're playing them in hopes that one of them gets hot shooting the 3-ball. Joe Ingles kind of was like that. I mean, 4 three balls made. I mean, that's really good. Had 10 assists as well. That helps. 5 rebounds. Not a terrible play. I know he's not a guard, but I just want to mention that in that same breath, where with Chris Middleton and with Drew Holiday out, he could be someone that we're looking at as well. Finally got a lot of minutes in the previous game. And then looking at Jamal Murray, he is currently questionable. Okay. The expectation is that he's going to sit one of these 2 games either tonight or tomorrow night. Okay, they have a back-to-back. The last time we saw Jamal Murray sit on a back-to-back, it was the back end of a back-to-back. So we just got to get news on that, hopefully before lock. They're all at 7, so I guess we will get that news before lock, most likely. And if he sits, we'd just be looking at Bones Highland. It's just an easy play, really. 30% usage rate with Murray off the court, averages 40 fantasy points per 36 with him off the court. Okay, maybe we can only project him to get 30 or so, but given the price tag, if he even gets 25 minutes, he should be able to go out and produce. He is going to be a strong price point play. Going to be someone that's really just kind of tough not to play on this slate. And then Bruce Brown is also a decent play with Jamal Murray off the court. Not exactly someone I love, but you could roster him as well. Currently questionable. If he were to sit, Braun would be an okay value, not someone we need to go out of our way to play. From there as well, Bradley Beal, currently questionable. Okay. And if he sits like he has the last 2 nights, then Monte Morris becomes a very intriguing play. Because think about it, Morris is going to get a great matchup with the Bucks not having Drew Holiday or Chris Middleton. Javon Carter, not terrible defensively, but not Drew Holiday. So that could benefit him as well. We saw the last 2 games, Morris has went for over 30 DK points with Bradley Beal off the court. A very soft price point. You could easily play him. Does open up a lot. So if Bradley Beal sits, I probably will be looking at Monte Morris. With Bradley Beal off the court, we see Monte Morris have a 17.1% usage rate, and his fantasy point total per 36 is around 30. We have seen him not get 36 minutes the last few games, but also has been able to hit value pretty much at this price point 4 straight slates. So, a fine price point play there. And then other guards, Ja Morant, actually, I believe he left Saturday's game, but he came back. So just watch his status. Just make sure that he's active. Do expect him to be active. And if he is in this matchup against the Kings, this could be a game in which we're chasing. Okay. Went for 53 DK points against them last game. Could be a very strong price point play. Okay, but just got to make sure that he's going to be active. Averaging about 50 DK points. I do expect him to get 5x. And this could easily be a game that you stack. The issue with it is it's kind of like last night's slate where I mentioned a lineup barely cashed that didn't have Luka, even though it had all flames. The issue with last night was that we had so many great guard plays. Melton, Kevin Porter. I'm drawing a blank on the other ones, but there's so many great plays that it was at the guard position that it was tough to just fit all the great ones in there. That's kind of what this slate is looking like, where we might be going 4 guards, probably 3 for sure, depending on that injury news though. But Fox could easily be in play as well, going against Memphis, a team in which he went for 61 DK points against in the previous matchup. That is a game that I do want to be targeting. That's a game that I do want to be chasing because, those two could easily go off. So it's really trying to decide between which ones I want to go with. I'm going to go ahead and put Morant and Fox in there for now, pivoting off of Morris because I just feel like that's the correct move. And then from there, nothing too much that I love just yet. AJ Green did get some minutes with Hill kind of being banged up, 23 minutes, did shoot the ball 5 times from 3-ball land. Not saying he's a play, but maybe if the game's a blowout, he could possibly get more usage rate and maybe shoot the ball that much again. Not something that I'm telling you guys to play, just kind of wanted to mention that in passing. Now looking at the forward position, I do think if we can afford to fit Giannis into our builds, we should. With Jrue Holiday off the court this season, he's averaging over 60 fantasy points per game or per 36, and his usage rate is 40% with Holiday off the court. And that continued in the previous game. 2 straight games of over 80 DK points. He has just been tearing it up, okay? Not really concerned with the matchup. I do expect Giannis to be able to go off in this matchup, okay? Maybe we're not getting 20 rebounds out of him, but I do think we're going to see him be highly motivated to continue to play well because they need him to play well with Jrue Holiday and Chris off the court. So I do think we need to go out of our way to play Giannis. And then also, if we get news that Bradley Beal is sitting, tough not to love Porzingis. Porzingis with Bradley Beal off the court this season. His usage rate is 30% and his fantasy point total per 36 is 49. Okay. Priced pretty cheaply as well. So if this game stays close, Giannis and Porzingis are going to be very strong plays. And that's kind of the issue on this slate is that we have a lot of pretty stellar plays. And yes, we have value on the slate, but we don't have too cheap a value to make a lot of the studs work. Kyle Kuzma, an okay play. Bradley Beal sits. Averages about 40 fantasy points per 36 with Beal off the court. Not terrible. Not someone I love, though. Bobby Portis, he is someone that does step up with Jrue Holiday off the court, does average around 40 fantasy points per 36 with him off the court. Not going to get 36, but the last 2 games with Jrue off the court, 45 and 38 DK points. That is not really shocking. What was shocking was his production for really a good week stretch there. Just seems like he had a cold week really now in retrospect. So, the shot attempts weren't really there. Maybe there was something going on. Maybe he was slightly banged up or just knew he didn't have it. Has played really well the last 2 games. I think he's someone that's firmly in play tonight as well. From there, Denny, you could play, more of a GPP only play. If he's going to get around 25 minutes, could easily put up 30 DK points. Trey Lyles has been someone that has been getting run. Not a terrible play. If he's going to get around 20 minutes, could be the value play that we're looking at. Maybe we don't get 20 DK points, 21 DK points, but maybe we get 17 and on a 3-game slate. I would take that. And then just looking at the centers, guys, the centers, I'm probably just going to pull from Porzingis or Giannis, most likely, because I don't think I'll be able to fit Jokic in there. Okay. And I don't think I'll be able to fit Sabonis in there. Both would be great plays if I could. I just don't think I'll be able to, okay? And I do worry slightly about the matchup for Sabonis tonight. Steven Adams just went off last night. Don't expect him to do that tonight as well. He could, but, just more of a shoulder shrug play. Gafford as well, more of a shoulder shrug play. If you end up on him, sure, I'm fine with it, but not something I'm going out of my way to play. So let's go ahead and recap the core plays. And honestly, they're going to be these players on this board here, okay? Bones Highland, if Jamal Murray's out, just looking at him as a very strong play. I think Javon Carter is the correct play on a 3-game slate, just with Jrue Holiday off the court. Should be a strong price point play. He might not break the slate, but he shouldn't hurt you as well. Looking at Porzingis with Bradley Beal potentially out, if he sits, we love him a lot more. Would be a very safe, strong play as well. John Morant going against De'Aaron Fox. That is a matchup in a game that I want to be targeting. Okay, they both feel a little bit too cheap as well. He went for over 50 fantasy points against them the last game. Giannis as well. Giannis just been on a tear recently with Jrue Holiday out the court. Tough not to love Giannis. And then De'Aaron Fox. Just want to chase that game. Okay, he went for 60 60 DK points against Memphis last time out. Should be a safe 40 DK point play. But obviously we can't fit them all into our build, so let's go ahead and rebuild this to give you guys a first look build. So I'm going to go ahead and keep Giannis in there. I think Giannis is the pay play on this slate, so let's go ahead and do that. And I do want to be on, I guess, Morris, since I won't be able to fit Ja Morant in there. So let's do that. Small forward wise, I actually might try to get lucky with Joe Ingles. And now I know it's an educated decision there, trying to get lucky there. Okay, but trying it out. Like I said, center wise, I do want to play, I think, Giannis at the center position. It just opens up a lot. But at the same time, maybe go Bobby Portis and pay down. So let's find another power forward play that we can go with. Maybe Trey Lyles. And this is where we're trying to find some value. It's not that pretty. Okay. The value isn't the best tonight. You could potentially go Grant Williams as well. Just trying to lock in some raw points. We know he's not going to get like terrible production, and maybe we get lucky and get 28 out of him. Educated decision there. Don't love it, but once again, don't hate it. This is kind of what it looks like if you're trying to fit Giannis into your builds. Now, let's say, all right, Giannis is just too priced up, can't make it work. That does open up a lot, okay? So let me go ahead and actually take, I didn't see Ja Morant in that. I thought I went with Morris. So let me go Morris in there. That's going to open up a lot. Okay, so that makes it a lot easier. My apologies there. I didn't see that. But that's an interesting build there. I might have to run that one out there. My apologies there. I didn't catch that. It's early, guys. For this particular build, I'm fine with Connaughton. Just been shooting the ball terribly the last 2 games. I'm fine with it. Once again, just playing him to get hot. But this is what it looked like. Obviously, more or less stacking that Milwaukee game because it's kind of easier to stack. But that'd be a route in which you could go as well. Kind of a straightforward slate, but obviously we got to make some educated decisions with our lineup path. One more real quick for you guys. Let's take Porzingis out. Let's take Morris out. And let's just try to make one with Morant and Fox and feel good about it. See, this is the issue. It's like either you're paying up at the forward spot or you're trying to find the value. You're trying to get lucky with the value play. I'm really struggling with that. Sure, Jaylen Brown lineup filler, fine with it. Like, that's the thing. It's a 3-game slate. You're going to end up on a sort of lineup that you don't love. That's the nature of a 3-game slate, though. You're never going to fully love a lineup on a 3-game slate. That's all I have for you guys for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Give a like and subscribe. That helps me continue to be able to put out more content for you guys. All right, thanks for watching. Let's have a good slate. And as always, let's keep cash.